Hi you guys, today we're gonna talk about informatics and potential redeployment. This is Jen from Informatics Life, where I give you real-world informatics content as well as about healthcare and technology. Today, we're gonna talk about potential redeployment. Now, not everyone out there is going to even have to deal with redeployment, but I wanted to warn those, not even really a warning, I shouldn't say warning, not at all, more like a,
it could happen to you. It happened to me.
So redeployment, if none of you know what that is, that just means that your company, your large organization, needs you somewhere else besides your current position. So who is most likely eligible for some type of informatics redeployment? I would say nurses. If you have an RN in your name and your title, you are gonna be eligible for your organization's redeployment needs. Now, it does not mean that you're going to be redeployed to another informatics area. It's more than likely you're going to be redeployed to the floor or to some other type of nursing need out there. I bet you're like, I had no idea. Yup. I mean, I don't want to date this video, but the pandemic really caused a lot of organizations to redeploy staff. Now, you're probably saying, well, I don't have an RN, I am safe. Not so much. I would not be surprised if they could use you for some non-clinical need. If you work in a hospital now, I can't speak for like places out there that don't really have any issues with a nursing shortage or a clinical staff shortage. I can't speak for those, but if you are informatics and your organization is large and you are in informatics and they shut down your department because really there's no need at the time, they could potentially move you someplace else. So I can speak for my story. My story is I was redeployed. So yes, I'm a manager and my department was redeployed. I was limited in what I could do, to be honest with you, because of all the responsibilities that I had, but I did fulfill some redeployment needs. What did I do? I actually worked on the COVID unit and I prone patients. So those of you who are like, you went straight medical on me there. Proning was just flipping the COVID patient up, backwards and forward whenever they, when it was time for them to do that. I'm not gonna go too medical on you guys, but I was a part of the proning team. That is something that I chose to do. Some organizations may not give that choice when you're redeployed. So my typical day was I would go there and I would be assigned to a unit, and it was like a team of people who we went around the entire hospital. Again, I work for a very large organization. You can check me out on LinkedIn. We had multiple floors with patients that needed to be proned in supine, prone to supine. So my day pretty much was that. That's all I did the entire day. We went through unit after unit, patient after patient, pregnant patients, any of the other type of patient that needed to be proned. It was definitely something I'm happy I got to experience, because it just gave me a snidget idea of what our nurses are actually going through out there, and it's a lot. It's totally a lot. But I just wanted you guys to know, like, don't think just because you go to informatics and you work for a hospital, that's a key thing here, or a medical facility whether it's a SNF or skilled nursing facility or some type of rehab facility, any type of informatics. If you're a health informatics specialist, nursing informatics specialist, they may say, hey, we need you here now. So shut it down, what you're doing, informatics, go assist the floors. The rest of my team, they were redeployed to different areas of the hospital, whether it was just taking calls for like a health clinic. They did nursing phone calls for patients calling in. Now, one key thing I do want to say is that they will assess your skill level. Like, you need to tell them, I don't feel comfortable sticking IVs. Like, they asked me. I've been in informatics since 2013. So no, I do not want to start an IV. I would make that patient miserable. So they were kind enough to have grace upon me and say, all right, that's fine. You don't need to do IV. I'm like, they were like, oh, you want to do phlebotomy? I'm like, no, I don't even want to draw blood. Because I used to be really good at that, but not right now. Like, so anyways, I just want to say, like, don't think, again, I said this before, don't think just because you are an informatics specialist, like you would never ever have to touch a patient again, because you could potentially touch a patient if your organization, your company, like I said, any type of medical facility doesn't really need you in that area at that time, and they need you more over here. They can say, you need to come with us, because we need you over here. Like, don't be scared. Like, seriously, just tell them what you're capable of. Don't, like, if they say, no, we need you on the floor, hey, that's your license that could be at risk. If you're doing something you haven't done in like 10 years or 5 years, tell them, hey, can you give me a refresher class or whatever? I'm thankful that we didn't have to deal with that. It was really just going where the need was. And the need was with patient care or health clinics or taking phone calls, helping with results being given to patients and discharge, checkups. Like, sometimes large organizations could just need help with those type of things. And, without having all of those medical skills on the floor, you could take phone calls. You can assess what a normal blood pressure is. I hope you didn't lose that kind of skill if you were in the medical field before. So, all in all, I just wanted to give you guys that information because, this is definitely a once in a life, or I don't know if we're gonna come through this again. Hopefully not. But I did, and that was my experience of being redeployed. Now, it could happen again in the future. It could never happen again. But I just want you all to know, like, just be ready. You will have to fulfill those needs out there for your large organization, especially if it's a medical facility that needs you somewhere else. You may ask, oh, but what about my job, the stuff that I'm gonna get behind on? That's just a conversation you can have with whomever is delegating you to go elsewhere. Really for my department, our responsibilities slowed down drastically because, there really wasn't that much of a need. We weren't really changing documentation. We weren't implementing technology because there was more important things going on. So there really wasn't that many changes in the EMR going on at the time because they wanted to minimize that as much as possible, and only urgent requests would go through. So if you have to, work a half a day, that's something that you can negotiate between whoever is redeploying you. Just say, hey, I can do 4 hours, I can do 6 hours, but those last 2 hours I gotta dedicate to take care of the informatics needs. I hope that was interesting to you. It's definitely something that you may not know about. So informatics is definitely a, more office setting, rounding the hospital, all those type of fields. But if the need is great, you may be called to the rescue to help out, whether it's, I don't know your background. If you're in health informatics, it could be RT, it could be radiology, it could be nursing, of course, it could be whatever medical background you have, and you have a license, a registered license in that area, they may say, we need you. If you haven't already, definitely check out the shop to order your Informatics Life shirt. Whether you're in nursing informatics or healthcare informatics, check it out. You see that web address right there? Check it out. Go buy your shirt so you can rock it. You see those logos in the back? That's what's on this shirt, and they come in different colors. All right, you guys, this is Jen Lewis, Informatics Nurse Specialist, signing off.